Hi. Sorry, I don't know what that was about. Cool. Oh my god, look at the state of my hair. So, I wasn't going to do a live. I always say this. Hey, I wasn't going to do a live, but I'm doing a live. So, I wasn't going to do a live yesterday because it got too late. I wasn't going to stay around until today, but I have because that's just how my life is. Nothing ever as it seems. So I've decided before I go home. Hi. Before I go home, I do a little live. Got one of the seats back in the car, and in the van, and hello, and it doesn't smell like cigarettes anymore. So this is like really one amazing thing that I'm happy about in the van right now is it smells a lot like wood in here, and it smells a lot less like cigarettes. So when I first got the van, it just stunk of cigarettes, and it was so dusty because it was a plasterer's van. There was just dust in some really unimaginable places. It just reeked. Um, my brother's still in contact with the guy that we bought it from. So hopefully we can update him soon because we told him he was going to make it into a micro camper and he was like, oh, no way. Yeah, lovely chap he was. He was like, van is looking cool. I must admit, van is looking cool. So yeah, the chap I bought it off, he was like in his mid-40s and he'd just had a baby and it just lockdown had just started, so maybe he needed some money. And obviously he wasn't doing any work because of the situation, so he had to sell the van. He didn't want to sell it, but he sold it. So yeah, I am gonna once I've not got long, so I've not got much battery on my phone. But I can see a few people are starting to tune in. When we have a couple more, I'm gonna do a little tour because I've got an exciting thing. I don't know if you can just like make it out here. There's a little exciting thing over here that's really got me feeling good. Yeah, I wasn't gonna do a live until next week, just so that it would be more substantial. But I'm just so excited that I want to just do it right now, so I am. Yeah. So basically, I spent the past couple of weeks because once a week I come down to my mum's house. So I'm sort of social distancing or isolating between my boyfriend's house and my mum's house. Because I have to come to Crewe anyway to teach a yoga class online for the studio. So my van is at my mum's house and I just use my dad's old work shed when I'm here. So once a week I come and do some work on the van. Sometimes it's really like the bare bones basics minimum of work on the van, and sometimes it's a little bit more. But the past few weeks I've been working on a countertop for my kitchen, and it is freaking tiny. I'm not gonna lie, but it's a tiny van, so I'm gonna sort of try and work out some little bits that like pop up or pull out to make workspace more have more area squared. Yeah, but it's just basically a skeleton right now, just so I can have a little muse over it and see whether I can put a drawer here or clad certain areas, or where I can work out putting a water tank. For me, things kind of evolve over time. If I make a plan, like I plan to have this here or that there, it doesn't really work out because once you've added a new thing in, the dynamics change. So, for example, I wanted a water tank over the wheel arch, and actually now I put the sink in, not the sink, now I put the kitchen unit in, I can see that one of the legs of the kitchen unit kind of now impedes that space. So I think a wheel arch water container might not be ideal anymore. There's still a prospect of having an undercarriage sort of water container, but then again, is there space for it, and where can I connect that to? Here's my brother, so maybe he's gonna have a little look in, doing a YouTube. He's a shy one, doesn't wanna show his face, but he has really helped me a lot. Yeah, so the dynamics change throughout the build, and I'm not really that mathematically minded that I could lay out some kind of immense plan. So But I kind of like that though. I kind of like the unplanned nature and the sort of evolution that it takes on its own. Kind of like that. So in other news, we have had torrential downpours here in the northwest. And when I say torrential, I mean flash floods in the streets and thunderstorms, and it's been heavy, heavy, heavy. But the skylight has not leaked, so that is a winner. I mean, if there's one dream that you can have when you're building a van, is to put a skylight in and have it not leak, especially when you've got a corrugated roof. So that is excellent. So I'm going to do a little tour now of what my little kitchen area looks like, my little kitchenette, and any other things that I might have added that are useful. So let's go. Are you ready? But first tea, right? But first tea. So now I've got an extra obstacle of my glorious chair that has been jet washed and no longer smells like it. So let me see if I can flip this thing around so you're not looking at me and you are instead looking at the interior of the van. So as you can see here, we have got the bare bones structure of what is my little kitchenette. I think it goes, oh, I nearly lost my voice. I think it goes super well with my little recess that I made. I might have to rethink. I said last week or the week before, I can't remember. I said in my last video I wanted to put this rope across here to sort of hold all my herbs and stuff in, but actually if I lift this up, now you can see that maybe it wouldn't be a good idea because I might end up smashing this on the little bracket that I wanted to put the rope on, so maybe that is not a good idea. But this little thing's awesome. Sorry it's so dark. Let's see if we can let a bit more light in. Doesn't make much of a difference. So this thing's awesome. It was expensive even though it was second hand. I'm thinking about it, I probably should have just bought a new one for the extra like 20 quid and got all the hoses and stuff with it, but hey ho, here we are. So this is a little electric start hob. Some of you probably know what this is, you've probably already got one, but for those of you who don't, this doesn't require any electric hookup to it at all, or any like wires that go to a battery. It's like a lighter, it generates its own spark. So I'm going to get a gas bottle to fix that. I was in two minds about whether I should get an electric tap with a sort of hose that goes outside so I can have a shower, because I still have from my old van that I was going to use a little like boiler so I could have hot water, but I think I'm going to have to think about the logistics of that. It also comes with a draining board, so when you're washing your dishes you can actually drain your dishes without getting the hob wet. That's nice. And it comes with this glass lid, so you've got extra workspace there when you're not washing dishes or cooking. So if I'm crafting I can have shit all up there. So under here I was saying I wanted a wheel arch water bottle. Bearing in mind they're like 100 quid, which I kind of didn't want to spend anyway. So you can get these wheel arch water bottles, which I wanted for there, but if you look now, we have a leg in the way, so that probably wouldn't work anymore. Oh, and I got a nifty little net. By the way, these nets, these used to be super expensive. When I first did my first van, the Jess, the big transit bus, these were so expensive. I mean, when I say so expensive, they were like, you could get them at least £10 each. But nowadays, a pack of 3, I think it cost me like £9. They are from China, but they're exactly the same. So I got a pack of 3 of these, and I put one there. I was going to put one over there, but actually realised that it wouldn't work because when the door slides back, there's no space. So yeah, I got 3 of those. One's going to go there. Maybe I could put one up here or something, or on the ceiling to put my knickers in or something. Yeah. So there we are. I was just testing it out with this 10-litre water bottle to see how that would fit. I mean, 10 litres is probably not a lot of water, but it is only me. And I think me and Dave used to have like a 20-litre water bottle. I might be wrong. And that seemed to last a long time, actually. So I could fit 2 of those into there, clean water and wastewater. But my brother was saying he can have the wastewater like going straight through the floor. And then my knickers used to be on the ceiling in one of these baskets above the bed. That's how it was in my old van. Knickers and socks above the bed in one of these baskets on the ceiling. That's van life, yeah? Plus, you never know when you need a spare pair of clean knickers handy at like arm's reach. So as I was saying, my brother was saying that we could have a hose from the sink, so wastewater could go straight out the floor, and we could just put a bucket under there or something. I could put a bucket under there or something. But people get a bit touchy about that, I think, when you're wild camping, or any kind of camping. So maybe I could fit a 10-litre fresh and a 10-litre waste. I have to measure it. Maybe I could get them a bit higher and go for like a higher literage of water. So I was thinking here, if I brought this down, I could have like some shelves that stack, or maybe I could have some like a system of drawers. My brother was saying, like, why don't you go for a curtain option so that it's you're not having to open doors and they're getting in the way of things with it being a small space. So we'll see how that goes. So there's a little bit of space here between the countertop and the back door, which is great because I wanted to sort of clad this maybe and then like hang pots and pans on the back of there, so they're sort of out of the way. And on this side I was hoping to have like make another pallet wood bit, so you can get like these sort of L bracket things that flip in and flip out, so you can make your own shelf. I've seen them on eBay. If you know what I'm on about, you know what I'm on about. If you don't know what I'm on about, you just don't know what I'm on about. So you can make like a cladded top for it, and basically it folds down, and then when you want it, it folds back up and clicks into place, so you can have like extra worktop that's just sort of temporary. So that would be a nice idea. Yeah, so I'm going to sit here and muse over that. I'm going to have a little think about what I can do. As for gas for the hob, you can get these really tiny, and I'm not talking about the 15 kilogram Calagas bottles. I'm talking about the little tiny gas bottles that you use for camping, that you put like a little stove on top of. A little tiny camping gas compact thing, and you can get an adapter for the top and a hose that goes into there, so it doesn't take up much space, because I don't think I can justify having a huge gas bottle in here, and plus it's probably not the safest thing to have if you can't have a drop hole and a little storage unit for it. So I'm going to go for this very small handheld type portable camping gas bottles and just buy a few of those. And I know that you can buy those in Europe as well, because the very, very small, is it 15 or 10 kilogram gas bottles? The problem we had is they didn't really sell those in Europe or anywhere that we could find. So when we run out, we had to buy this huge gas bottle that we had to store and chain outside of the van, which was a pain in the fucking arse. So since last week, I can't remember if I showed you this, but I've cladded that out just to make it look nice, because it looked kind of horrible before. I do want to get rid of these doors and get some new doors with windows in. I'm just going to show you my skylight. We're all cladded now, we're all cladded. There's a slight seam here where the wood didn't quite meet. Sorry, I'm just reading someone's comment. I think for a one-ring burner, it would be alright. I mean, I'm not going to be using it for anything else other than like making cups of tea and making omelettes and stuff. So yeah, the skylight's super awesome. God, I've got like old lady hands. Just don't crochet, people, because it gives you like really weird hands. So the skylight's awesome and it does not leak, so that's amazing. Like, that is fantastic. Yeah. And also those very small camping gases, you can refill them. You can get tops for them, little adapters that you can use to refill them with the canisters. So the canisters are quite cheap. I'm sure you can get like a pack of 4 for £5, and then you can use those to like refill the top, refill the larger gas bottles. So that's the idea. I mean, I've got to think compact. I've got to think compact. So this is actually not secured down yet. I just put it in here to see what we've got to work with and what sort of space I've got to lie down here as well. So I'm going to have a bed, probably comes out so far, and then it's going to pull out the rest of the way. I'm going to finish the edge of the top of the corner. What, here? Am I going to finish this? When am I hoping to travel? Well, as soon as possible. I mean, as soon as I've got a bed in, here, or at least I've got like a sofa-y bit in here, I'm hoping to, like, maybe we could go to Cornwall. I've got a friend who also has a van. She's actually kitting out she's got like like one of these, it's almost like a disability car, I guess, but she's not disabled. She just has a few kids, and she's actually kitting that out at the moment. So she wants to go on a trip with me, and we're gonna like set up some little pop-up stalls by the beaches and stuff if we can allow it. So maybe we can go to Cornwall as soon as lockdown allows, and that would be nice. I'm really excited to get some stock made up that I can take traveling with me and do a little pop-up shop. Because obviously at the moment I'm just dependent on Etsy, but the dream is to let me just pop you on here somewhere. The dream is the dream is to be able to travel and craft. Oh, you're slipping, darling, you're slipping. Just get you somewhere nice. Wow! Hold on a minute, we've got a, there we go. There we go. So obviously the dream is to travel and craft. So I'm hoping that I can get like I hope my dream comes true as well. I've been working really fucking hard to make this dream come true. I spent a year working at fucking Bentley for a start to afford the actual van, and it's a lot smaller than the van I wanted originally, but it fits under height barriers, so we're winning there. Especially now, seen as like in Snowdonia and stuff and Wales, they're putting height barriers up on all the car parks, so to stop wild campers. But there ain't no stopping me because I'm in a small van. So yeah, I've worked really hard. So the dream is I want to get like a vintage suitcase. I don't know if you know the type. They're like really firm and they're like retro vintage suitcases. Maybe like a leather look or something. And you open them out, and I'm hoping like I can get one I can open out and put two bits on that flap out, and I can have like displayed like loads of earrings I've made and necklaces and stuff. I go and do like a pop-up shop, a small one, a pop-up store by like a beach or like at a park or something. Yeah, look, I used to live in Wales in my van, and it's amazing. So yeah, I want to go back to Wales for sure. I'd like to go to Cornwall too. But yeah, that's my dream, to craft and go and sell my crafts by beaches and by parks and places like that. So yeah, but my online shop actually has really helped with this project at the moment. I mean, I've sold a few things these past couple of months that's helped me afford the sink. I've sold a few things these past couple of months that's helped me afford the batons, that's helped me afford the little stuff like this. I sold a top yesterday and a crochet pattern, and with that money I have bought a gas bottle adapter, I bought a gas tube, and they've got the little crimps that go on the edges of the tubes. What else have I bought? I bought another adapter, so I bought two adapters, one that goes on one of those little camping gas bottles that are about this big, and also one that goes on the cylinders just in case. What else have I bought with the money? I bought quite a few things, to be honest, with the money that I've made from my Etsy store. Just things like screws as well, screws and bolts and things like and glue and all those stuff that add up. I just don't think I would have been able to do it without my little craft shop. Which I work so hard on making my little crochet stuff and things like that. So I'm so glad that I can support my dream on that. And that's the dream, right? That's a dream, to do something that you love, to fund something else that you love. And that's amazing. So yeah, so far, so good. Let me just get my tea because it's going cold. So the next step is I'm gonna order a gas bottle. I'm gonna just double check that the stove works. I'm gonna go to like the camping shop or something and see if I can buy some new water containers and some hose, so I can just double check what sort of size space I need to leave free for those. And then I'm gonna have to try and clad up this unit and add some drawers and storage for like, I've got to think practically. I always think like, oh, where can I store like buttons and yarn and things like that? But I need to think practically, where can I store cutlery and where can I store plates and where can I store pans and cups? Where can I store bedding? And then I need to think about where I can store yarn and things like that and clothes. But you'd be surprised what you can materialise out of such a small space. And I mean, like I said, it is just me now. I ain't going to be travelling with no asshole man. It's going to be me and my own space with my own say. You might need a street trade. Yeah, I've heard that you might need a street trader's license. I had a friend who used to do busking, and he told me about that. Well, apparently you can get them from the council or something, but they're not that expensive. So he said. So that's fine. I can get like a street trader's busking license. My boyfriend said he wouldn't like to stay in the van because it's not really his thing. I mean, it's tiny. I think if I was in a huge van, like a proper camper van, he wouldn't be so bothered. But I think travelling in a little tiny, he's massive, by the way. He's like 6'4". He's huge. He's well built. And I just think it would be too, for the both of us, it would be a bit on top of each other. But he said he'd be happy to fly out and meet me anywhere. If I went like to Cornwall, he'd come down and meet me and stay in an Airbnb, or he'd fly out to Spain or France, and he'd be happy to come and hire an Airbnb, and he'd be quite happy with that. So yeah, he would like to travel to meet me, but not necessarily with me. Have you considered using the passenger seat for storage if you're solo travelling? What do you mean by use the passenger seat as storage? Underneath the passenger seat, I don't know if you know much about the Ford Transit Connects, but the seat sort of folds down, so it folds down, so it's completely flat, and you can actually sit on top of that. It has a hard plastic back because it is designed to be a builder's van, so I suppose they'd have like a toolbox or things on there, and they'd fold it down so they could fit more stuff in the back. But it actually flips forward again to reveal a little space underneath that you can store things in. So I don't know what you could put under there, but it is a storage space. I would like to keep the passenger seat because I would like to have guests or pick up hitchhikers, or use there's an app you can get specifically for hitchhikers that pay. So if I was travelling to France, for example, I could use that app and they would pay me, I don't know, like 20 quid to come with me. To be a peddler, you have to keep moving and only stop when you circle. Oh right, okay, yeah, like the lucky man. Are we allowed to say that? Like when you go on holiday, they call it lucky man. License costs £13. I suppose. I don't know. I mean, if someone come past, I can just flip my suitcase down right and just pretend that I'm having a picnic. I don't know how it works. I'm sure sometimes wild camping places ain't legal, right? So the lines become blurred somewhere along the lines. Not that I'm condoning being illegal by any means, but yeah. All I'll say is we will see. We will see how it goes. If I get told off, we're fine. I get told off, we're fine. Yeah, so it's starting to look so good. Just can't believe, I'm so excited. I can't believe how amazing it's starting to look, and also how it kind of looks like I imagined it to. You know, it's getting that, like, I had a little vision in my head of how I'd like it to look, and it's looking very similar to how I imagined it to look. So that's good. Really good. Yeah. So hopefully within the next few months I will be travelling, at least within the UK with my friends, because we're excited about that. The van looks great. Not long now, and you'll be away. But, yeah, it's hard work. But actually, although it's hard work, because you do it like one step at a time, and you sort of really break it down into little bite-sized pieces, it's not actually that hard. You're like, okay, you look at the van when you first get it, and you think, okay, we need to rip everything out. So you rip everything out. And then once you've ripped everything out, you think, right, we need to fucking clean this shit because it's disgusting. So you clean it. And then you think, right, we need to put a floor in. So you know we need a floor. So you need to go to the shop, we need to buy the plyboard, and then you know that you'll need something on top of the floor, and you're going to get your lino, and you sort of do that. And then when that's done, you're like, okay, so we need to clad it now, and it's all like step by step. And then once it's cladded, which took fucking ages, well, before it was cladded, put the skylight in. And then once it's cladded, you're like, okay, well, now we need a kitchen unit. So you build the kitchen unit, and you don't make it complex. Like, literally, I built the top out of pallet wood, because pallet wood was free. And I made the template, and I stuck the kitchen top in it. Great, that works. And then I put the legs on it. Like, so now we have a kitchen top with a sink unit in, and legs. Nothing else. You don't have to complicate it. You put it in, it fits. And now the next phase is, okay, now I need to make this into a space that is well thought out, that can store as much as possible without being overcomplicated, but still looks fucking cool. So you just do it one phase at a time. Like, it doesn't have to be complicated. And then once all that kitchen unit's done, like, I can cook and I can clean and I can wash. Fantastic. I could just technically whack a camp bed in here and have done with it for like a few months. But the next job would be to put a bed in. The Holy Market car boot sales are the best. I know. The problem with car boots is though, you have to like, you pay to go on them, and then you're just stuck at this sale, and it's not really a nice place to be. And everyone at car boot sales kind of wants everything for 50p, and I'm like, dude, I've spent 5 hours crocheting a top. I am not selling it for 50p. No, I'm not doing that. So yeah. I'd like to just sit by a lake somewhere and just chill. Markets need insurance and don't often let you trade from your van. Yeah, I don't want to do markets. I literally just want to be like a gypsy somewhere, just selling stones. Except for all my stones will be in the form of necklaces and earrings. Yeah. I mean, when I was in Portugal, it's not allowed. It's not allowed. When I was in Portugal down at the beach, some of the hippies would put signs in their front windows of their vans saying bottles of beer, £1 each, €1 each. And obviously they're not allowed to do it. And if the Guardia come or the police, they just take that sign down. And I'm not saying that like that you should do that or anyone should do that, but people do it, and they make a little bit of money just to go on to the next place. I mean, when I was in Thailand, there was some people that were not Thai. Hi, Amanda. Yes, we've got Amanda in the game. We won't be here long though, because I've already been here ages and I don't have much battery. But yeah, when I was in Thailand, there were some people that were not Thai. They were white people, and they had like an American accent, but they were selling printed postcards of their photography, just like sneaky in the corner, and just to make enough money to go on to the next place. And they probably would get fucking really told off by the Thai police if they got found out. But they were doing it anyway, and it's just like you have to do little things sometimes that help you get to the next place. I mean, I always make a note of how much money I make. So even when I was in Thailand, even when I was in Portugal traveling, and I was selling at the craft fair, at the hippie market, and I was selling on Etsy, I'd always make a note of that, and I would always do my tax return. I would always pay tax if I owed it. I'd always declare what I made. So all money that I make is legal in that sense, but whether or not it's frowned upon to sell earrings at a beach, I don't know. So yeah, it's literally just making enough petrol to get to the next place, and afford maybe like a packet of rice to feed myself. So yeah, I can look into getting a peddler's license, but I don't think it's too much of a big deal. I mean, there's always Etsy, like I say, but then you've got to go find post offices all the time. Good evening. Good evening, everyone. I am definitely going to be going in a minute because my battery has just told me it has 10% left. But I just want to show you my kitchen because I'm excited about it. So I'm actually sat right now where my bed will be. I think so, yeah. And actually, I'm sat in here. I have no windows at the moment, apart from my skylight, which actually is letting in quite a bit of light, as you can see. And it's not too bad. I thought it would be a lot worse without having any windows in. I will get some windows though, hopefully, if I can find some. Oh, the porthole windows that I bought, I paid about 40, I want to say £48 for them both. And I wrote to the person and said, these just look like the most awful things. They're not so bad. It turns out that they open from the outside. But when I'm in my van, I kind of don't want someone opening my porthole windows from the outside. So I wrote to them and said, I just don't see how I would fit these. I thought they opened from the inside. Can I send them back? But I think they're from China, they must be, because they said, oh, well, it would be difficult to send them back, so what we'll do is we'll give you half of a refund. So I got half of the money back for those. So I guess I could just sell those again on eBay. I don't know. I don't know what I can do with those. But they're there. They're there. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, someone asked me what am I going to do with the edges of the wood where it meets the edges of the cladding. Maybe I could put some rope on it. Maybe I could just decorate it with some fancy like bunting or something. Make it look girly and nice. So yeah. Any questions, anybody? Because I'm going to leave in a minute. I've got to drive back home and annoy my boyfriend. Oh, thank you, Amanda. You're, I think, is it the same Amanda that sent me a really nice picture? It's gonna go here somewhere. Do you know, I'm really worried though about any artwork that I have to put on the walls that it'll get sun bleached. So I'm wondering if there's like, I can get some like UV protective glass for photo frames so that any artwork that I have doesn't get sun bleached. Because I'm so I've got like any artwork that I have right now at home, I have in like envelopes with like cardboard back envelopes, all protected and nice. Because I'm like, oh, I want to hang it up, but I don't want it to get sun bleached because that would be such a shame. Well, I can. Okay, I'll have to look into that because just some really nice artwork that I just don't want ruined by the sun, which is because it's a shame if that happens. So yeah. Watch this space, everyone. Watch this space. Sell at festivals. Yes, I can go to like independent festivals and have stalls because they're always cheaper. If you go to the independent ones, if you go to like Boomtown or something, they'll be like, yeah, we want £500 for a stall space. Like, I don't even know if I'll make that. Yeah. So yeah, I'm very excited. I am very excited. Very, very excited indeed. Right, I think I will wrap it up there because I'm running out of things to say and I'm just kind of staring at my van in awe because I'm just so proud of my little space. It doesn't not feel as claustrophobic as I thought it might be. And when the doors are open as well, it's like fantastic. And when I buy an awning at some point to go out the front there, it's just going to be amazing. It's just going to be so cozy and I can just close the like if sometimes I get social anxiety. Not social anxiety. I guess a little bit, but not crazy. I get socialed out. So if I'm in a social situation for too long with too many people, I'm all right. I'm fine. But after a few hours, I kind of get a bit like, okay, I'm socialed out now. I need to just go and take some time on my own, have a cup of tea, and just get my head together. So it's kind of like a really nice space to come back to and hide out and just recharge. If I'm in a social situation like at a festival or on a beach where I've met loads of travellers, it's just a really nice little cozy space. And I know in my old van, I went to festivals with Dave and stuff, and we'd have like times where I'd have gone to bed early, and when I say early, I mean like 1 in the morning. I'd have gone to bed early, and I've got the log burner on, and I'm all cozy in my bed, and then suddenly, like an hour later, like Dave would come back with like 3 people, and they'd all be sat on the bed. Like I'm sat in the bed sleeping, and I'm practically asleep, and then suddenly there's about 4 people who are all clearly intoxicated on something sat on my bed, all talking, chatting, rolling spliffs, and acting like I'm not laying on the bed. And I'm like, really? Like, get out. Like, this is my house. And I'm, like, basically being told to stop being rude. So I don't have to put up with that now. I don't have to put up with that. It's my space. And I was like, you don't get coming in here, the doors are locked. I'm recharging, I'm sleeping. This is my private space. So that's really my little personal hideaway. So yeah, anyway, my battery's about to die, so So I'm going to go. I'm going to love you and leave you. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you're new, do a subscribe, I guess, if you want to. You can catch me on Instagram, boho_on_the_go. And if you want to check out my crafts, they're there too. You can check out my Etsy if you want. Don't feel obliged to buy anything, but if you see something you like, maybe it might help me buy a thing for the band. Thanks for watching, everyone. I love you.